Hi, and welcome to Becoming a Professional Artist, Part 4. Today we're going to be talking about financial resources, what you need financially to become a pro. Hi, my name is Luis Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 20 years now. And this video is going to get very personal, very candid. I'm going to be talking about my personal resources when I started working, because that's actually what the focus of the questions were. But through that, hopefully, you're going to get some answers that may help you become a pro. So the questions I'm going to be answering today are: what were your living conditions like? How was your time spent on a job, working on a portfolio, working on projects? How did you survive as in paying living expenses? Were you supported? Did you have a job? How did you establish your network? At this stage, make yourself known. Did you have equipment you wanted, needed, couldn't afford? Could you afford it? How did you work without it? What did you use in terms of equipment and software? So that's the questions I'm going to be answering in the video today. The video that I'm going to be posting with the audio this time is of me creating a logo. The logo that you see actually right here on the screen is actually the logo that I'm working on. I did not design this logo, and I just wanted to make a shout out to Distrakt. Omar Jones, he designed the logo for me. He offered to help me out. And I asked him, "Hey, can you design me a logo?" And he totally did it. And he came through, and it was amazing. And he was doing such a great job. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish because he got really busy. So I ended up taking his initial ideas and sketches, because he did all the heavy lifting, and all I did was just clean it up and then just mess around with what he had already done. So thank you, Omar. You could find him on Twitter, Facebook, many other places. I'm going to provide a link to all his areas below in the comments below, in the description of this video. So you could click on him, see if you like his work, see if you'd like to hire him. He's a good person, and I really appreciate the work he put onto the logo. All right, so without any further ado, here is the video. All right, so now we're starting to get into the more income-based stuff, money-based stuff. So here we go. What were your living conditions like? I was before I got hired, I mean, middle class. My dad was an architect who lost his job, but he took care of us fairly well. We lived in a rented house in Laverne, and it was fine. Like, there wasn't I wasn't broke, I wasn't rich, I was middle class. You know, it's a middle class income. I was comfortable. It wasn't a struggle, at least not for that I could tell. Although my parents probably struggled quite a bit, as parents do. How was your time spent? Job, working on portfolio projects, etc. How was my time spent? As in just like my regular days? I played video games. That's what I did, and watched cartoons. But I didn't work because I would live at home. Now, when I was trying to get hired, I was going to high school still, remember? And any chance I got, I tried to go to the zoo and study and go to figure drawing and try to get better, even though I didn't know how the blazes to do that. How was your time spent? Okay, how did you survive, as in paying for living expenses? Were you supported? Did you have a job? As I said, I had no job before The Simpsons. I was in high school at the time. How did you establish your network at this stage? Make yourself known. Again, I think I answered that question. It was just going to Rolling Heights, and that's where everything really started. Did you have the equipment you needed? Could you afford it? How did you afford it? How did you work without it? All right, so animation, that's a different thing. The classes that I went to had the equipment. Otherwise, I was able to at least buy a peg bar, a portable peg bar. I had a light box. The light box was required. I made the light box in workshop. So in high school, I knew that I was going to get into animation. And I knew I needed a light box. So I took the blueprints from a Preston Blair book that I had, one of the old ones. They had the blueprints for a light box. I took it to my wood shop class and I showed it to my teacher, and my teacher actually helped me make my light table. And it's the light table I use to this day. Is this light box I made myself. Yeah, light boxes are about $100 and some. So I made a light box and had a peg bar, and I was ready to go. All I needed was punched paper, and that was in high school. In high school, the high school class had a special puncher that made hole punches, holes that fit the peg bar, and that's how I animated. All I needed was a pencil. There was no, at the time, the biggest the biggest equipment that you really needed was the camera and special camcorder that took frame by frame shots onto video. So that was like the big expensive thing, and nobody had that. There was no, Photoshop was terrible for drawing at the time. Digital drawing was just too far off. The tech wasn't there. Paper, pencil, peg bar, and light box. If you had all that, you were ready to go. You were ready to be an animator. I had a sketchbook. So none of this stuff was really expensive. None of this stuff was expensive. So yeah, that's what I and when I needed to shoot my things, I would spend the time at Roland shooting my tests, shooting my animation and testing it, and then going back and fixing it and testing and shooting it again, and it was really time consuming. But that's how you did it. That's how you learned. So yeah, as far as equipment and all that stuff goes, that was it. Like the whole internet thing, that wasn't even a thing. So, okay, what did you use in terms of equipment and software? Yeah, even at the time, the closest thing to any kind of animation program at the time that I started was this Disney program that like a Disney pencil check or something like that. I did end up buying it, but it wasn't really all that helpful. Because you had to draw with the mouse, and it was just terrible. However, the guy that got hired at Film Roman on The Simpsons when he was a junior high, he used that and drew with the mouse and animated with the mouse and did animated shorts on the computer that way. So he was ahead of the curve, and at the time he was one of the first computer animators in the world because of the fact that that's what he was doing, and that's how he learned to do it. He did computer animation with a mouse on that Disney program at the time. But the tech was way too far off at the time for it to be of any use for us. Nowadays, I'd be able to do everything on a laptop, which is mind-blowing. But yeah, so nowadays, if I could buy Cintiq Companion 2 and a copy of some kind of animation program or a Manga Studio or subscription to Photoshop or whatever, you're basically ready to go. That's all the equipment you really need.
and a sketchbook and a pencil if you, I mean, if you really want to get good. It's better not to go digital. It's better to do it analog because that's much more of it's much more practical. Speaking from experience, I have the Cintiq Companion Pro, and I have a sketchbook. And I use the sketchbook much more on commutes and things like that than anything else. I just on the go. If I'm on the subway, I mean, if I'm on the Gold Line or whatever, and I'm on the bus, I don't take out any electronic equipment. Another reason not to is because you're in public space and you don't want to get mugged or whatever. But if you take out a sketchbook and you're just drawing, you're good. That's it. That's all you really need. It's a sketchbook and a pen, and you're ready to go. All right, I think that answers that sequence of pre-income questions.
If you found this video valuable, I would like to encourage you to return value for value by becoming one of my patrons over on Patreon. Not only will you encourage me to continue making informative videos that are useful to you, but you get extra perks too. For only a small investment of $1 a month, you can get all new videos I create months before anyone else gets to see it. Also, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer as a patron, you get priority and I answer your questions first. On top of that, when you're a patron at any level, you become part of a raffle where I send original art via mail to the winner of that month. The higher your tier, the better your opportunity to win. Higher tier patrons also get access to any art I do in high-res JPEGs and also full access to PSD files to any work I do, including the PSD files of these videos. Currently, there's a huge backlog of downloadable files you can get, so right away you're going to get quite a lot of bang for your buck. And the more patrons I get, the better these videos will get. The more content I can produce, in other words, the more you benefit. Please consider becoming a patron. Thanks. The link to my Patreon is on the screen and in the description of this video. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.